The United States is closely watching the actions leading up to the talks in Nanjing. Clearly, the Obama administration will support measures that help diffuse tension in the region. For more on that aspect of these important meetings, CCTV's Callebs joins us from our Washington newsroom. Sean.
Well, thanks, Elaine. We know that the sides are going to be discussing trade issues, considering trade has more than doubled in growth between the Chinese mainland and Taiwan over the past 5 years. But the U.S. is hoping this could also open the door to long-term significant changes and perhaps add a little stability to the region. It's a series of official government meetings that could pave the way for more trade and furthering student exchange programs between the Chinese mainland and Taiwan, and at the same time create a foundation to chip away at decades of tension and mistrust between the two. Observers say it is tough to overstate just how important the sessions could be.
Absolutely, this is a very exciting thing.
Haipei Xu is the head of the National Council on Chinese Americans, based in Washington. He says the meeting between top government policy officials between the two sides will be substantive as well as symbolic. How delicate will this be? I mean, everybody's going to be watching how they greet each other, how they shake hands, yes, how they refer to each other, how their body language.
It's a hugely, as you know, a very delicate thing, and any tiny little bit can be exploded, magnified, and twisted in Taiwan, especially by people in the opposition.
There is no question the political climate has thawed in Taiwan since Ma Ying-jeou became Taiwan's leader in 2008. Analysts point out that tension has diffused greatly, especially considering that in 1995 and 96, the PRC fired missiles into the Taiwan Strait over concerns that Taiwan was moving away from reunification efforts. Washington is obviously watching developments closely, with the Obama administration offering low-key support, but always concerned this window of opportunity might not last.
In a sense, it's a breakthrough, but in another sense, it's a small step on a very, very long path.
Douglas Paul was the unofficial U.S. representative to Taiwan under George W. Bush.
They're in the process of trying to figure out a way to establish representative offices in each other's localities. And that's going to take a lot of work, because as soon as you establish such an office, it will become a focal point for protests in Taiwan.
My colleague Peggy Wong talked about the possibility of leaders of the President of China meeting with the leader in Taiwan in November. Now, some are wondering if the talks in Nanjing could lead to that meeting, because China is hosting this year's annual APEC gathering, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation meeting. And analysts say it is conceivable that Ma Ying-jeou could attend as Taiwan's economic representative. Elaine?
All right, CCTV's Callebs in our Washington newsroom. Thanks for that.